Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. This video is going to be part of a series of breeding Maggie. So this is going to be part 1. And this is going to be the reasons why I decided to breed Maggie. So stay tuned. Okay, so when you're first trying to breed a horse or wanting to breed a horse, there are so many factors that need to go into why or should you breed a horse. So, here's some of my requirements, and other people's requirements. You know, you may have your own. I'm not going to tell you whether or not you should breed your horse. These are just personal factors to me on why I decided to breed Maggie. So, first of all, is your horse registered? I personally will only breed registered horses. I know a lot of people that breed their mares. It's not my problem. It's just not how I prefer to do things. I prefer to have registered horses. Then you want to think about what your breed is. So Maggie is a quarter horse mare. So there's many different aspects to breeding a quarter horse mare. So because of that, I want to stick within the quarter horse registry. So you could either go with a quarter horse stallion or a paint stallion that is also registered to be able to breed to mares that are quarter horses. If you breed paint to quarter horse, there's a chance you might not be able to register it as a quarter horse, but you will be able to register it as a paint. If you have any more questions about the whole registry between different registries, leave them down below and I will try my best to answer them for you. So next, because Maggie is a quarter horse, there are different genetic diseases that are 2 other breeds that you can breed a quarter horse to and get a registered foal is the Appaloosa Horse Registry and a thoroughbred. So with that, I'm pretty sure an Appaloosa horse can only get registered within the Appaloosa registry if it's Appaloosa to quarter horse. Don't quote me on that though. And then a thoroughbred will get registered in the quarter horse registry as an appendix quarter horse. Okay, so since Maggie is a quarter horse, I am also going to have to get a genetic panel test done on her for genetic mutations. She has already had her tests done. It came back all negative. It's all good. Stock horses are some of the horses that need genetic testing, and there's other breeds that need some types of genetic testing. You know, do your research about genetic testing before you go into the breeding process. I went ahead and tested Maggie because in the quarter horse registry, her sire and dam were not listed as tested. And so I went ahead and tested Maggie to make sure she was 5-panel negative. Some people will breed carriers, that is up to you. I personally do not. So I wanted to make sure Maggie was 5-panel negative, or 6-panel negative. I did a 6-panel on her. Some people do 5. You want to make sure you at least have the 5-panel negative before you decide whether or not to breed or, you know, have the 5-panel done. So now because I have Maggie tested and I will only be breeding Maggie to 5-panel or 6-panel negative stallions, that will automatically make any offspring that Maggie has 5-panel negative, and that will put into the registry. So here I'm just going to show you a genetic test that came back negative, and then I will show you one that has carriers on it. Okay, so here's just a standard test, everything negative. And here you can see the PSSM1 is a carrier. Some other aspects that I looked into before deciding to breed Maggie was temperament. Maggie has an amazing temperament, which made it one of the shining factors of why I would want to breed her. A horse that has a bad temperament can pass that on to a foal. So it's not a deal breaker to have a bad temperament. I personally just would not breed a horse with a bad temperament. Secondly, conformation. You want to have a horse that has as few conformation flaws as possible. You can still breed a horse that has conformation flaws. You just need to make sure that whatever stallion you choose one that will complement those flaws and improve them. You want to make a foal that is a better representation of conformation for the breed than what the parent was. So Maggie has a few conformational flaws that I don't like about her, and so when I go on to look at my stallion prospects, I will go and I will make sure those stallions are strong in those certain aspects to make a more fluent and rounded, conformationally wise foal. Third thing is show record. A lot of people will not show a horse or breed a horse without a show record. And to me, that was not a citing factor. Maggie does not have a very extensive show record just because I haven't been able to show her yet, but she will be hitting the ring quite soon. I hope to next year. But Maggie does have a lot of drive and talent, and I know once I get her in the show ring, she will make a decent show record. So that's just one thing you have to look into is, does the horse have a show record? Does it have the ability to have a show record? And if you have the ability to go out and show your horse and get a record under its belt, I highly, highly recommend that you do. I just haven't been able to yet because of money, being 19 years old when I bought Maggie and doing all this. But hopefully within the next year or so, we are going to get some shows and some points under our belts. Lastly, color. Color should not be a deciding factor at all when it comes to breeding your horse. A lot of people become colorblind and don't see the flaws that a horse has because it has a pretty color. Also, when breeding, especially with paint horses or pinto horses, you need to make sure that if your horse has the Overo lethal white gene, that you breed it to a horse that does not have that. Because when you breed two carriers of the lethal white gene, you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting a lethal white foal, which will be born all white and will have organs shut down within a few days of being born, and they will not make it past a week or two old. So that is definitely something you need to make sure that when you're color testing, especially with your paints and your pintos, that your horse either doesn't carry that gene or the sire does not carry that gene. Now we're going to talk about age a little bit. You definitely don't want to breed your horse too young. You don't want to breed your horse too old. Especially if it's a maiden, you want to try to not keep it past a certain age based on health reasons and complication reasons and all that stuff. So Maggie is going to be 15 next year, and she will be a maiden. That is on the older side for a maiden. But I have worked with my vet, and Maggie is in great condition, and so we decided to go ahead and breed her based on all those aspects. Also, I personally do not like breeding a horse that is too young. Just babies themselves. I like to give them enough time to mature and grow within themselves before they have foals. Now that I decided that Maggie has checked most of my boxes, I decided that yes, I do want to breed her. So with this, I decided to schedule a breeding soundness exam with my repo vet. I have a good relationship with my local equine vet, and they have a repo division. If your veterinary office does not specialize in horses or does not have a good equine vet, I would recommend finding a vet with a great equine repo place, because it will just help everything in the long run, especially if this is your first foal. And so I got her to the repo vet, and she passed with flying colors. And so now we are going to go through with the breeding process. So that is it today for part 1, and that is just why I decided to breed Maggie, you know, what all the factors were going into breeding Maggie and everything. In step 2, or part 2, we are going to explore what stallions I was looking at and how I chose what stallion to breed her to. So stay tuned. That part will be coming sometime soon, hopefully. And I hope you guys have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.